Flashing quarter eye.
Hi, friends. I'm host Eric. This is Rachel. How compatible are you and your dot dot dot? That's the title of this live stream. And the answer is terribly uncompatible. Or whatever you want it to be. How compatible are you and your butt cheeks? Well, that really depends a lot on whether or not you were bun huggers.
Oh.
Bun
Yeah.
huggers increase your compatibility with your own butt cheeks.
I was just gonna say, do you feel like you are more compatible with your butt cheeks right now?
I do. And I used to feel really incompatible with my butt cheeks.
Oh.
Like one cheek, well, both of them would want to go left, I'd want to go right. You know, that sort of thing. So
Oh,
my butt would be heading a different direction than the rest of my body.
that's tough to deal with.
Yeah. Caused me a lot of slip and fall injuries. Rachel and I went out this evening for an indulgent dinner, which we haven't done in a while. We go do that periodically.
Yeah.
And it was very nice. Sometimes we get tired of just eating frozen dinners.
Yeah.
And we want to get some actual regular food in us, so we went out and got our favorites. I got steak. Rachel got lobster. I gotta say, the price on Frederick's lobster is reasonable.
Yeah.
It's not the most, not even the most expensive thing on the menu. So, like,
Yeah.
the filet mignon is a little more expensive than the lobster. Unlike the lobster at the Little Girl Steakhouse, that lobster is very overpriced.
Oh, at Madonna Inn. Yeah, it is.
I think it's called the Gold Rush Steakhouse, actually.
Gold Rush Steakhouse.
But I prefer to call it the Little Girl Steakhouse.
It really is.
Well, and I must say that I enjoyed the Madonna Inn this time, and I enjoyed our meal there and everything. It is a little bit less magical when you aren't on a bunch of high quality mushrooms.
Well, that shows because we didn't even stay there the night.
We stayed there that night.
No, we didn't. We left.
When?
We didn't even stay overnight at the Madonna Inn last time. After the show, we left.
No, we left in the morning, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
We did. We didn't sleep?
No, we didn't sleep. We went back to the room. We cuddled a little bit, and then you were like, "All right, I'm up. Like I'm not gonna go to sleep anytime soon. Are you?" And I said no, and we just left.
So we left like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning or something? Oh, interesting. Hi, Dallas. Good evening to you.
Hey, Dallas. Ooh, lobster like Jordan Peterson knows lobsters.
Yeah, well, Rachel, this is her way of celebrating Jordan Peterson, is to order lobster when she goes to the restaurant.
It is. I do, if he is ENTJ, he's my supervisor. So.
You want to make him proud.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the lobster around here is not going to be as good as the lobster that you get in your local environment, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because you probably get fresh lobster right out of the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah, this probably comes right. Right out of the Bay of Pigs.
I believe Boston is right on the Bay of Pigs, right? Or is that Cuba I'm thinking of?
Pork lobster? I've never heard of that.
Pork lobster tastes like chicken.
I see.
Farmers have recently successfully bred pigs and lobsters together. And their meat has all the best flavors of both. So when you eat a half pig, half lobster, it basically just tastes like eating bacon wrapped lobster. You know, if I were to open a fancy restaurant, I would offer bacon wrapped lobster as a dish. The thing is, you have to first you got to boil the lobster, but not all the way. Then you got to wrap it with bacon and put it in the oven at a very high temperature until the bacon crisps up. You know, so you gotta manage the cooking of the lobster just right, so that it's boiled enough when you take it out and wrap it up with bacon that, but not too much, so that when you cook the bacon in the oven, the lobster doesn't get overcooked. Yeah, bacon wrapped anything is generally pretty good. I actually had shrimp tonight. I got the addition, you could add prawns to your meal for an additional cost that was not very expensive. So I said, you know what? I will add prawns to my meal. And I did eat all the prawns, but I was reminded once again that I don't really like shrimp, even if you call them prawns. So that's just a reality I have to live with in life. I don't really like seafood. I think, oh, I like the idea of surf and turf. You get steak, you also get just a little bit of fish. But ultimately, I really just like surf without turf. So, I mean, I like turf without surf. No, I didn't have hockey. I had prawns. I don't know what hockey is. Prawns are shrimps that they call prawns if you're at a fancy restaurant. They didn't have any bacon wrapping on them. The thing that we like about Fredericks of Savory, which is where we ate tonight, well, I like a couple things about it. I like the fact that it's not as cramped in there as it is at Charles Street, but we didn't want to go to Fredericks today. We wanted to go to 1850. Except, guess what? 1850 is closed Monday and Tuesday. How much of a little bitch can you be? Just come on. Close one day a week, not 2 days. But since they were closed, because what I should have titled this, I blame the owners, Dulles. I blame the owners. I bet they could find employees that wanted the hours, but they're like, no, we don't want to have to worry about working on Monday or Tuesday. Stop being lazy. Hire a manager. Anyway, the bad thing about 1850 is that it doesn't really have any interesting drinks that aren't alcohol. You could get just Coke or coffee, but they don't have any good drinks that aren't alcohol. Whereas Fredericks, they have non-alcoholic cocktails. Rachel and I each ordered one of those tonight, and then Rachel went to the bathroom, and I listened to this guy at the bar making fun of our drinks as the bartender made them and being like, why would you order a drink without any alcohol in it? What are they, 12? What are they, 12 years old? Yeah, that's what the guy at the bar was saying when you were in the bathroom.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah. Why would you order a drink without any alcohol in it? What are they, 12? Is what he said. So I got a kick out of that. That didn't make me mad or anything. I just thought it was funny. I could totally picture myself saying the same thing when I was drinking. Yeah, we made a nice evening of it. We've been on a frugal streak recently, doing a good job of saving money and trying to be frugal, for lack of a better word. So when you've been frugal for a while, it feels like you deserve it when you go out and have a nice meal. It's one of the wonderful things about living here rather than in LA. In LA, we ate out so much, it was never special or satisfying, really. Like when you DoorDash all your meals, like we did after my dad died, we just started DoorDashing like every meal. I DoorDash sometimes like 2 large coffees from McDonald's in the morning just because I was that lazy. Obviously, that gets expensive if you start door dashing shit all the time, you know. So we do a much better job of being frugal up here, simply because um, we don't rely on spending money for entertainment. We have no DoorDash available. If we did, I'm sure we'd still DoorDash shit all the time. But we don't just be it's just not available. We live in too sparsely populated a spot and too far from any place that they could deliver stuff from that it doesn't make any sense for DoorDash to open up business up here. So, as a consequence, we don't spend money on that. And it's also far enough to town that if I want to eat something, it's easier to make something than it is to drive through Burger King. If I drive through Burger King, it's an hour round trip plus the amount of time it gets through Burger King. You're now feeling bad about the bowl of chili you ate earlier, so you should have DoorDashed something. Well, DoorDash is fantastic. It is a triumph of laziness made manifest. You know, it's like I am so lazy, I refuse to even drive to the place to just pick it up, a phone order or whatever. Somebody else has to drive there and drive it to me. That's how lazy I am. I am embracing my laziness to the fullest. So, you know, it's easy to understand why anybody who has DoorDash would use DoorDash. I can't critique anybody for using DoorDash any more than I can critique somebody for wearing Jordash. If you're wearing Jordash or Vidal Sassoon, you're above reproach. Just like if you're using DoorDash, you're above reproach. Because you have attained the pinnacle of human laziness. Not only am I too lazy to cook, not only am I too lazy to go through a drive through, I'm also too lazy to even microwave something or even pour balls into a chip, or chips into a bowl. So I'm gonna just DoorDash something. That's the ultimate attainment of laziness. The thing is, you might not think of laziness as a virtue, but attaining the pinnacle of just about anything is an accomplishment, even if it's something silly like pickleball, you know? My computer is messed up, but I love you. Oh, how can you love when your computer's messed up? all you can do is feel suffering at that point. Oh no, my computer's missing. Like that. But for Peregrines, I feel you, cat. On the astral plane, you love me with my whole heart, your whole heart. Well, thanks. I don't go to the astral plane very often, but when I'm there, I will expect to see you and your whole heart there, loving me. Next time I go to the astral plane, will I see you traveling? You know what song of my own creation that I really like a lot? The song called Sign Holders. I'm really very fond of that song. Even though it's a very short song. Sign holders, be safe and wear your hard hats. Bright green safety vest and modesty pants. Wait, I didn't bring a drink. Your sign says slow, but you wave me fast as my wife and I confusedly drive past. And I've refined it a bit to be exactly that thing I just sang right there, which changes the passing notes from the obvious ones to something a little different and colors the whole thing even better than it was before. So I'm very happy with my sign holder song. I also like how Rachel's dislike of her ex-boyfriend has caused her to manifest a general dislike of cone putters. It's not the cone putter's fault that your ex-boyfriend was such a prick, Rachel. Yeah, that's the universalism of the INFJ at work. They're meaning-based universal knowers, so they can't help but universally know that cone putters are a suspect population. There's a lot of noises going around the town right now. As I mentioned before, sound travel is weird in the mountains. You can sometimes, depending on who knows what, hear people like they're really close when they're not that close. I always wonder, like, if I'm just standing out here talking, what are the echoes carrying my voice, even if I'm not being very loud? Oh, trouble. So I think I probably will make a video here at some point based on my concept from this morning, which is 5 signs your cat is a narcissist. Which I think is a funny idea. I also think it's accurate to say that our cat is a narcissist. I, you might not think that cats can be narcissists. I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, but I believe it to be the case that our cat is a clinical narcissist. And, you know, I guess because he's a cat, there's just nothing you can do except just give in to his controlling ways and let yourself be controlled by him. But he's very controlling. You know, narcissists love compelling people to do things non-consensually. Or your cat has histrionic personality disorder. That's exciting. It means your computer's fucked up. That's what it means. Last thing I ate was 2 loads of sliced bread, mayo, 3 slices of ham either side, and a chunk of sharp cheddar in between. Well, sounds like a sandwich. That's all I said. That just sounds like you've deconstructed a sandwich and you're playing like chopped contestant. What I have for you tonight is a deconstructed sandwich. On the left, you've got slices of bread. In the middle, slices of meat. On the side of that, some cheese. You see a little pile of mustard and a little pile of mayonnaise. Your graphics card is failing is one possibility. It could just be your screen too. You know. I think my daughter's cat also has some sort of personality disorder, but Capio doesn't. Capio is a very healthy, normal cat who's actually coping very well with having a narcissist brother. As I think, you know, by and large, Rachel copes quite well with having a narcissist brother as well. No offense, Anthony. Well, you could say no offense, Eric, but I think Anthony's going to take offense to that anyway. Well, you know me, I calls them like I sees them. But I wish no conflict with the man. I'm done with my I want justice thing. I feel like I've gotten justice for Rachel in a different way, although not in the way that I expected to, and not in the way that I think either Rachel or I inherently values, but nevertheless. Things are just enough. You know, Rachel and me complaining would just be whining at this point. Like I was saying to Rachel at dinner or sometime earlier today or something, it's hard for us as intuitives, intuition dominance, especially FETI side intuition dominance, for us to be very compassionate about the extent to which a lack of intuition handicaps your subjective sensing types. But it's hard for us to be compassionate about it or view as anything other than oppressive because that's how we've encountered it throughout life, you know. Because everybody's projecting their frames of reference, and there's so many more of them than there are of us. It's hard for us to view their lack of intuition as a okay, Bufo Fairy Lanes. The stream won't be over that fast. I think Kapir might be an Enneagram 9 as well, but I don't typically Enneagram type my cats, although I do other things, like call them narcissists and MBTI type them, but
Yeah, they're both ENFJ narcissists.
who?
Oh.
Oh, your brother in trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was saying, I don't normally Enneagram type the cats. I hadn't really thought about that before.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just thought that Kapi is so easygoing that she would be a 9.
I mean, she's also an ISTJ.
Mm-hmm.
So she could just easily be a 1. Like, she'll run away from
that's
any kind of
true.
conflict. She's not going to try to appease.
Oh. So, 1s in anger withdraw. But they say that 9 are the most withdrawing.
9s are avoidant. Instead of withdrawing, they appease.
Okay. Yeah, I do. Appease.
That's not withdrawing, that's appeasing. And then 8s confront.
Yes.
So I think Kapia is probably a 1 more than a 9. Okay. Kapia is really self-sufficient too.
That's true, and I am not.
She's she's the opposite of needy, whatever that is.
Yeah, she is the opposite of needy.
Self-secure.
So, yeah.
She's got a very clear self-concept, self-sufficiency. She needs the few things that she is accustomed to, like an occasional set of pets from me, spots where she gets to sleep, maybe not bothered by trouble.
Yep.
And then access to food and water. And other than that, she takes care of herself.
Yeah.
Has her own interests that are not involved with me and Rachel.
That is true. That is way more like a 1 than it is a 9.
and the other thing is, though, how being with Trouble makes me appreciate that quality of her so much, because Trouble is such a continual pain in the ass.
He would be an 8 if I were to tell
him. He's an 8.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, if we don't go watch him eat fast enough, he'll yell at us.
I know. You're right.
No!
He does. He yells at us.
Yeah.
And we try to ignore him too, and we try to talk to him to let him know, like, it's not happening this time. We're not watching you. But he'll
win.
Yeah, he wins.
Neither of us were too FE to resist.
Yeah, we are.
Now, I'm more FI than Rachel. Rachel countervalues FI. I value my own FI. So Rachel says things like, "Is it okay if I don't finish my potatoes and broccoli?" I'm like, do you see me finishing my dumb vegetables? No. It would never occur to me to think to ask anybody else if it's okay if I don't finish some shit I don't want to eat,
I so countervalue. But I sometimes like to display my FI. Like, I like to give you kisses and touch you and...
Right. Well, but then in that instance, you're being allowed to demonstrate FI with somebody who's FI polar. So not only are they not critiquing your FI, but it's working on them in a way that they aren't even fully aware of themselves, which is right up the INFJ's alley. Just like me and TE. You're impressed when I accomplish things with TE.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But you don't expect any TE from me. Same thing with FI. I appreciate your FI. It helps me to feel secure. Even though I'm not very conscious of that, it nevertheless impacts me positively. And I certainly appreciate it. And I always think, like, oh, I love you too. You're silly for feeling insecure about that. But of course, I don't feel insecure about that because you're so continually reassuring of me.
I just love to, like, tell you how I feel.
Well, that's great. So, anyway, that's an analysis of that. Everyone, you're welcome. There. So these shoes have become left and right, for sure.
Oh, they have?
Yeah, like I just put them on the wrong way, and I could tell immediately they were on the wrong feet. After you wear these start off as having no left or right. The thing's right in the middle, whatever, right? But after you wear them for a while, they become shaped. You can see, right? Like, it becomes shaped to my ball of my foot here.
Yeah, you can see it on the mat of it, too.
Yeah, you can see the shape of your foot and it dents into it. These are fantastic. These are the best shoes I've ever had.
I favored them on my internet pages so that I'll get you another pair.
Yeah, these are my favorite shoes ever. These are
Good.
like the
I'm
best.
so glad.
I say that because these are the best flip flops ever, and flip flops are my favorite shoes. Ergo, they're my favorite shoes ever.
That's great.
Not because I can't think of other pairs of shoes I've had in the past that I've liked a lot. I can, but if I look at the overall big picture, my favorite shoes ever have to be a pair of flip flops because I almost always wear flip flops.
Well, and you knew exactly what you wanted. Like as soon as you said like the name to
I didn't say that. What I told you originally was that there were these slippers that I had worn in Hawaii as a kid.
Yeah.
So I just went straight way back SI that were like made out of hay or something, is what I told you. Then you did the Googling and you said, is it these things? And you showed me a picture of these things. And I said, yes. And we both saw on the internet tatami slippers.
Yes. They have two names: tatami slippers or ZOIR.
Zwar?
Zoar slippers. Yeah.
Well, that's a dumb name for them. Tatami is a good Japanese name for Japanese slippers. Zwar sounds like some dumb brand name who's trying to reference noir but make it with a Z.
I'm not sure what the difference. I don't know if there's a difference. Maybe in the location of where they're from in Japan, like that's how they call them. I don't know, but yeah, tatami slippers. That's the way to go.
Yeah, well, and you got two different kinds of pairs. This one, which is the one I remember looking like, and then one that looked more like a rice cake.
Yes.
And I didn't like the rice cake one.
They didn't fit you at all.
They were hard, uncomfortable to walk on.
Mm-hmm.
It might have become comfortable if you walked on it for a while, but they also didn't fit very well.
No, they were like a full size too small. Even though I said 13, I gave them a bad review, like a not great review on.
As I did with that anime we tried watching earlier. There was a new anime that came out today. It had a 4.8 rating. I was like, ooh, I'm excited. And it was not good, not funny, just bad anime.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I put a review on it. I said, not good, not funny. I have no idea why this is rated 4.8 stars. Only Japanese people must think that's funny. It must be some sort of Japanese specific humor.
I think so.
I don't get it. I don't like it. And I don't dislike all Japanese comedy efforts. Some of them are quite good.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a few anime shows that are clearly written by very smart intuitives, such as Odd Taxi.
True.
That show is written by an NTP, probably. It's got to be. You got that whole joke about Bruce Springsteen, remember that? Where the guy's driving in the car and he's like, it's surprising. Like the entrance of Bruce Springsteen in We Are the World.
Oh, that's definitely NTP. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mommy and Daddy love you. Thank you, PP. Thank you.
And then both he and the passenger exchange sentences featuring the word Bruce Springsteen, which they say in English, but they say it in the Japanese way, like which is like Bruce Springsteen or whatever.
You did good.
And then at the end of the exchange, the driver's like, You just like saying Bruce Springsteen. That was great. That was a really great scene in that show. That show is actually, I had to stop watching it because it made me too tense. It was it's a tense, intense show that's got like all these ambiguities and people's emotional well being is on the line all the time. Like you like this character and you see that he's engaging in this thing that's emotionally dangerous for him. That this woman's just gonna be like taking advantage of him and stuff, and it's just like, oh my god. But you don't know if that's how it's gonna turn out or not. But it's just too intense, too much on the line to watch safely for me. So I had to just stop watching it because I can't take fi shit. You know, like I was bothered for at least a couple of days by that horrible squirrel thing we saw. By even though I tried to fast forward through it on Alone.
Oh yeah.
Ah. Bruce Springsteen. The screen only goes black when I touch the computer. It's me, I'm possessed. Does it only go black when you touch the screen, or does it only go black when you touch the keyboard? Like, or the mouse? If it's touching the screen, then it's a screen problem. If it's touching the mouse or keyboard, then it's a graphics card problem.
Oh yes. Or is it a poltergeist?
Could be a poltergeist. Yeah, maybe you do just need to focus your energy. I mean, do you really need to see anything anyway? What are you looking at? Just looking at this haggard looking old man sitting in a chair. Not that exciting.
I don't think you're haggard looking.
Well, thanks, darling. You're a wonderful wife. I love you very much.
I love you too.
It's like the other day, I said to Rachel, you're so sexy. And she said, oh, so I think you're sexy too. And I said, and one of us is right. That would be me. It is my specialty to be right about that.
That's true.
Oh, you don't want to miss the kitties. Well, that's understandable, Bufo peregrines, because they're very, very pleasant to look at.
Oh yes, and I love it. I get mommy kitty time right now.
Yeah, you're monopolizing the Capillo love.
Oh, I am. Yes. Oh yes, thank you, Pee-Pee.
Because mommy gets jealous when Capillo and I are loving on each other.
Oh, I mean, you know, yes. But I also love it. Like, I love seeing it because she's so happy and you're so happy.
Yeah. It is nice, but it makes me, I'm pretty allergic to her hair, you know?
I know.
This jacket seems adequately heavy for the evening. The evening's cool. It's a rather cool evening, but not cold. You know what I think we may have done, Rachel? I think we may have outweighted the head flies. The face flies.
You think they're gone?
Well, I think this cold snap
Oh,
has
yeah, me too.
made them go away. So, because I was thinking about that when we went in town to get those hats today. It's like, it'd be just like us to get the hats like the day after they stop being a problem.
Yeah, because I think it's going to continue being like in the 70s.
Yeah, it's just going to get colder from here on out through winter, you know?
Mm-hmm.
How do I not have any cigarettes? It's like I keep opening new packs. Where do I put them? Where do they
Where's
go?
that hoodie that you had?
I don't know, but I probably left them outside. A graphics card is a thing in your computer. Okay? That makes meow turn into meow. Like most things on your computer, it makes meow turn into meow. That's the best way to explain every component on the computer. Yeah, this part makes meow turn into meow. What are meow and meow though? Well, it could be meow, it could be meow, it could be meow. It's hard to say, really. That doesn't seem like a very useful explanation, Eric. There you go, trying to use explanations again. Just let it explain. You don't need to use it for anything. But does it really explain, Eric? If you need an explanation about that, then maybe it does really explain. Well, I got a lot of sleep today. I slept well last night, and then after live stream in the morning, I slept several hours at least, which was nice. I woke up feeling very well rested. Jeremiah Fix, I believe when you say processes ones and zeros into code that dictates which pixels should display which colors, I believe what you meant to say was it turns meow into meow. So, in case you couldn't tell, I didn't really know what a graphics card was. And that's okay. Because I don't have to know everything. Now I know. It turns machine code level code into instructions for your LCD display. There you go. Now we know what graphics cards are. Isn't that wonderful? Aren't we all happier now that we know what graphics cards are? I know what they are. Something stupid. Well, I don't even care about. Why would I care about that? I don't play video games. Yes, once again, live streaming has done its job as a laxative. Meow. Hello, Mr. Man. Hello, Captain Needs a Lot. I guess he probably came to me because he saw Mommy petting Santa Claus. And he was feeling jealous. He was flashing quarter eye, as they say in that one song. Except for him, instead of flashing quarter eye, he flashes big eye. That's when you know you're in trouble. When he gives you big eye. He's got that bulging eye disease. I believe it's called Bulgy's bulging eye disorder, or BBED. Frequently known as Babed. It's named after the doctor who discovered it, Dr. Bulgy. He's the first doctor who's like, why are your eyes so bulgy? I think there's something wrong with you. That's how they discovered that bulging eye disorder. All thanks to the hard work of Dr. Bulgy. Of the Institute of Bulges and Protrusions. He's actually the founder of that institute, I think. When Dr. Bulgy founded the Institute of Bulges and Protrusions back in 1912, people said, do we really need such an institute? So Dr. Bulgy was undissuaded. Eric makes himself laugh. Well, I'd like to thank everybody here for contributing to the overall laxative effects of live streaming. It's always good for me to rid my body of some feces, some urine while I'm at it. You know, I might as well get a twofer. It's Tuesday after all. Well, remember, Tuesday is not the day on which Wonder Points are doubled. Ice Wolf.
Ice Wolf.
Among 6 or more people, there must be 3 that are all friends, or at least 3 that all aren't friends.
Meow.
And why is that, Ice Wolf? Is it because all things in the world must be divided into 3s?
Oh my gosh, meow meow.
Okay, you narcissist. I will watch you eat.
Where she talks about how Kourtney Kardashian called her sister Kim Kardashian a narcissist. And what Dr. Romney was saying was that it's never good to, it's never helpful to tell the narcissist that they are a narcissist. But I didn't know.
Well, who cares if it's helpful? Right? That's not how we determine whether we should speak the truth.
Yeah, I think her sister is right, and I think that Kim is a narcissist, so why not be like...
Why do we have to be focused on being helpful all the time? That presumes that we can predict the outcomes of telling the truth all the time. We can't predict all the outcomes of telling the truth. That's why we prioritize telling the truth over not telling the truth, regardless of the outcome. Now, there are certain exceptions. You don't want to purposely go out of your way to tell people truths that are going to hurt their feelings or something.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. But if the problem in a relationship that you have is explained by one person's brokenness, it does a disservice to everybody to pretend that there's some combined culpability there, right? Like, having been in a relationship with a broken person, each of us understands that there's one of the ways in which they control you is they get the world to agree with them.
They do. You had, I mean, I still say it to today that there was a Kim camp. Like there were people
Right.
who
Yeah.
stood behind her, even though she was
Obviously the problem.
obviously abusive. Like it was
Right, and it took me a long enough time to recognize that, in fact, she was entirely the problem here, enough to care enough about myself to leave, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it doesn't do any good to strengthen their ability to pull bullshit by pretending that a conflict between you and another person is a normal conflict when it's not. Normal conflicts, there's a certain amount of culpability on both sides among healthy people when there's conflicts among healthy people, right?
Yeah.
That's not the case when there's a conflict between a healthy person and an unhealthy person. And it does nobody any good to facilitate the narcissist's ability to continue to portray things as false equivalencies and convince people that they're right.
Yeah. You know, it makes me think of even though I knew Harris was BPD, I never told him.
Well, that didn't help, but it should have helped me to realize that I should leave. But it didn't, because I, at the time, didn't understand what broken meant. You know, the broken was broken, not damaged. You can't fix broken.
Right. But it was very enlightening to see when you and Liz were, talking, and you said, Liz, you have borderline personality disorder, and she stopped in her tracks, and she was like, yeah, she admitted to it. So
yeah.
I mean, I know nothing's changed.
Right, see, that's their trick, right? Because at the end, but of course, even if she weren't BPD, she'd still be an INFP. And her absolute values are clearly FI and SI, which makes it impossible for her to, even if she were to be honest with herself by a counter-valued NI, there's no possibility that she'd ever prioritize she'd have to have some experience of FI, of really caring about the other person's well-being and recognize herself to be a fundamentally destructive force in his life, which seems to me probably beyond her.
I think it is. It is. It is. But so I didn't really. I usually agree with Dr. Romney when she talks about stuff, but I was just like, so when are the narcissists gonna have any idea that they're acting narcissistic? I mean,
or more importantly, like, where does justice come from?
Right.
If you can't attain justice with the truth, how can you attain it?
Yeah.
And if you're attaining it with something else, is it really justice?
I know. That's so difficult for me.
And that's the important distinction. When I say you should always err on telling the truth, I mean in matters where justice is at stake.
When justice is at stake.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't. That's not a way. I don't say that to justify, for people to be able to justify being mean at all, because in those instances justice is not at stake. They're being unjust by just using words to hurt someone's feelings.
Right, like if I were to use it right, like if I now in the state of harmony that's going on in my family. If I were to just out of the blue call, you know, one of my family members and be like, "You're a narcissist," it would.
It wouldn't be helpful.
No, it
for
wouldn't.
sure. She's right about that because you don't need to defend yourself right now. You're not at their mercy.
No.
Although both of us are obviously this cat's bitch, because what are we doing? We are sitting in the kitchen with him.
Yep.
And he's just happy as a clown.
He is happy as a clam.
Because we're in his space and he's got full control over both of us.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I can lay right here forever. This is fine.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
And we
that
can
is
only
you.
reward you for being so narcissistic.
I always say that, like, I feel like I'm the mom of a degenerate parent or degenerate kid.
Yeah.
Because, like, and I now understand the parents of degenerate kids because even though I know he's such a handful and how much trouble he can cause, I still love the crap out of him to the point where when I'm in bed, I love it when he's next to me. I hate it at the same time because, like, I don't have much space, but, like, I love this cat because he's my baby boy.
But couldn't you get 6 people together who are all friends?
That's what I was wondering.
Like, I had at least 6 people here who were friends of mine at our wedding.
Yeah.
And they're friends with each other too.
It's true.
So, I would seem to think that would negate what you're saying. But you know, if you wanna live a triangle-based worldview, then I'm all for it. You, and more power to you and your triangles.
Yeah.
Winston's mom asks, how compatible are you and your ... I don't know. Your butt cheeks? That was what I was originally thinking. How compatible are you and your butt cheeks? But I thought that... What's that?
You're pretty compatible with your butt cheeks right now.
Oh, yeah. My butt cheeks and I, to be honest, my butt cheeks and I have always gotten along fine. They sit on things just fine. And that's the primary task I expect them to perform, is to be there to be sat upon. But they also do a fine enough job of filling up the backside of my medium-sized bun huggers.
They do a great job of filling up those medium-sized bun huggers.
Well, see, the thing is, for a man with my waist size, obviously, the Bun Hugger Corporation expects my buns to be bigger.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. So my buns aren't that big. So when I got the large size bun huggers, they were just saggy. And I got the medium sized bun huggers and they fit just right. So hi, Levi Samuels. Today I heard a butt cheeks joke. Is butt cheeks one word or should I spread them?
I like that one.
Yeah. There's a debate joke that says I'll extend my app while you spread your K.
That's great.
I'll extend my F if you're going to spread your K. Fellow human gave me a wonder point? Wow. I don't know if I want to set the precedent that wonder points awarded by you count. I'm pretty sure they don't. I think there are only 2 people who can award wonder points, maybe 3. Only 2 people who might conceivably award wonder points. Me and Rachel. Rachel, not seeming to get the concept, wants to receive wonder points. I will validate wonder points awarded by Delilah, should you ever get her to award you any wonder points. I find it unlikely that you'll get her to award you any wonder points, but it's not impossible. Hi, Wonder Point Wednesday.
Hi. It's not.
It's not. No. Today's Tuesday. It's totally terrible Tuesday. Tuesday is the worst day of the week. Like on Tuesday, the only restaurant, probably, well, maybe Charles Street was open, but we didn't check really. But
No, I think, well, it was close at the time. I don't know if it opened.
regardless, 1850s closed on Tuesday. Only one good anime comes out on Tuesday. There's not any football on Tuesday.
At least we have hockey now and basketball.
Well, we would have had the baseball playoffs, except both of the games were blowouts. So there's no reason to watch a blowout.
No.
Hockey started. Basketball's in the preseason. Who wants? I don't even barely want to watch any regular season NBA games, let alone preseason. Yeah, sure. You could ask a question about DSM versus MBTI. Do you want me to just explore the concept of the two things? That would be fine too. I mean, basically, the DSM is going to pathologize oh, well, INFPs are not going to behave toxically like BPDs are. BPD people, the more close and important the relationship is to them, the more awful they treat you. So, it's especially something that impacts significant others more than anybody else.
Yes.
Although that impact can impact kids as well. I mean, I don't think BPD parents are necessarily the best parents, but I don't think they necessarily are fully toxic with their kids in the way they are with their significant others. In a healthy expression of FI, there's a genuine caring for the other person and respect for their feelings and stuff that's twisted, distorted into an attack pattern by in a BPD example.
Here it comes. Oh, trouble bubble.
Well, fellow human, that's where the DSM leads us very much astray by not emerging from a cognitive function frame. So it is true that ENTPs and ESTPs, ESFPs, and even ENFPs are all going to be diagnosed as ADHD. But that's not because they have something, right? It's because the natural deviance from the norm that's implicit to given types in certain areas has been pathologized by people expressing those types that those individuals are deviating from and projecting their own frame of reference as a norm because they don't have any proper frame of reference, which would be a cognitive function or attentional manner frame of reference. Now, we can distinguish between things that are properly labeled some sort of disorder, with things like borderline personality disorder, things that are properly labeled some kind of mental illness, like bipolar disorder, and things that are not properly labeled as any kind of pathology, like ADHD and so-called Asperger's. Those are just pathologizing people's either dominant, polar, 8 slot, whatever. Certain functions get pathologized in their absence a lot more than others. So, TI polar will get pathologized as a learning disability. And then you get all these angry SFPs who hate TI users. Understandably, understandably they hate the projection of TI as a norm onto them because it makes them inferior. And a lot of them are very insecure about it. And then careless Eric of yesteryear just wantonly called them stupid, triggering their unconscious SI into fits of inexplicable to me rage. But they should have been explicable to me if I just thought about it a little bit, But I'm a better person than I used to be, I try to do a better job of not doing what I'm mad at everybody for doing to everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Because certainly it's been done to me, it's been done to Rachel or her whole lives. Like, my dad could not have made it clearer his whole life without explicitly saying so, just how disappointed he was in me. And why? Well, because he saw my intelligence, intuition as potential to accomplish things rather than as an alternate frame of reference or another way of paying attention. He didn't understand how come I couldn't be me and also be TE and also SE and also SI, Oh, I have no problem being TE and SI and SE. You just need more discipline. More self-discipline. He wasn't like a super disciplinarian dad. He didn't get punished a lot or anything. I also didn't disobey much. It's like he may have been disappointed in my ability level. Like watching me fumble around with tools trying to do shit probably just made him go, oh. I mean, it definitely did. I saw it all the time, just shaking his head, just like, oh. But he couldn't really get mad at me because it was not like I was disobeying. I was trying to do what I was told to do.
Yeah.
So I just thought, this son of mine is just that's anti-polar for you. You don't get what matters. You only get what's important. There's a distinction I haven't drawn in a while, or highlighted in a while. The distinction between things that are important and things that matter. Things that matter aren't important to you, personally. They're important to the world. Things that are important don't matter to the world, but are important to you. So, my father was this master of TESISE taskmaster, Cameron always called him. Your dad's the ultimate taskmaster. He just gets a handle done on every single task all the time. But that's sort of a way of keeping meaning at bay. As long as you get everything done, no matter how trivial, you don't have to think about what any of it means. Do you ever feel like the disappointment impacted how you see things now? Probably quite a bit, but it's hard for me to say because I'm bipolar, I guess. Money asks, what are your thoughts on general masculine and feminine archetypes? I familiarized myself with the literature. It seems ripe and not defensible. Thoughts? Well, I mean, archetypes, right but not defensible, is could be the definition of them. It's like the very definition of an archetype. It's an NI holistic truth that you can't reduce any further and therefore can't defend or establish or anything except just say, this is resonant. I was hoping you'd tell us about one time you were mischievous. Well, there was a time that Dave Porter and I drove down to Tijuana and I crashed my dad's car into the back of this other car because I was so drunk on tequila.
Oh.
That's not a very happy memory, though. My mischievousness wasn't of the playful, cute kind. It was of the barely clinging to the edge of control kind.
Wow.
Is it possible to become very competent at problem solving by using functions other than TE? Well, sure. You just have to change the field of the zoom level, right? So, like, my ex-wife Candace was very good at solving certain kinds of problems that she had solved before. And she had a steady. Had a steady strategy that she could apply to multiple instances of things, the specifics of which didn't change very much. So in other words, she was working in a system in which she'd already learned the logic of it. It would be perceived by a third party that she was very competent at problem solving within those small frames of reference, but she wasn't actually exactly problem solving per se, so much as she was using a combination of SI and FE stuff that she learned from other people, So it depends if you're asking from a third party's perspective or from your own perspective. Is it possible for Rachel to become competent at problem solving? From her own perspective, probably not. From my perspective, I see her FE as solving problems all the time, but that's not really problem solving as it is so much as it is FE interfacing. Mm-hmm. So if we don't want to let our terms get mission creep, then I would say the answer to that question is probably not. Although I think everybody becomes somewhat more competent at their fourth slot function as they get older, or at least they encounter fewer problems from it. Or maybe not fewer, but if as many, not as big. So I used to make bigger SI mistakes than I do now, but I still make them occasionally. Sometimes I'll press on beyond where Rachel's SI is comfortable, like when we drove back from the show without getting any sleep,
Yeah, I felt bad that I was so grumpy.
It was fine. I understood. I just pushed your S's too hard.
Well,
It's happened before. I know what it is. I do learn things. The SI may not necessarily be representative of all other functions in the fourth slot either, because SI is a learning function.
And like me being an INFJ9, like I don't even want you to know that part of me. I don't even want you to know that like I get grumpy, but like I am human, and like you said, pushing on.
You are human and you need to be loved just like anybody else does. Yeah, it's true. Morrissey was wise. We all need to be loved, just like Morrissey said.
I do.
I wonder how long he sustained his status of abstinent. But I remember, like, when the Smiths first came out, like, it was somewhere published or whatever that he was abstinent.
Really?
Yeah. But I think maybe he wasn't counting gay sex.
Oh. I agree.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, the Mormons don't.
They don't count gay sex as sex?
Well, like, no, like, well, you know.
They don't count butt sex as sex?
Yeah.
That's just so silly.
Isn't that so silly? So, like.
It's such a concentric circles kind of a thing.
Yeah. You know, blowjobs, not sex. So there's like, yeah, they go around having it by doing it in other holes.
These holes don't count. I can tell you from a penis's perspective, they all count. Is it possible that a person is ESTP but has a particularly well-developed NE function? It's very possible that an ESTP would believe that to be the case. And they're not necessarily wrong. Like, my daughter's an ESTP who was raised by me and whose intuition is as sharp as the sensors could be, probably. But she's still not an intuition dome. I can tell the difference. She doesn't like that. She doesn't want to be an ESTP. She wants to be an ENTP who's mastered the art of SE. But, you know, that's consistent with fourth slot and I.
Yeah, because, I mean, I still think that she's an ESTP, but Mackenzie's like that too.
Yeah.
Where
right. Yeah, so if you are an ESTP, it's very likely you do think you have very well-developed extrovert intuition and possibly mistype yourself as an ENTP at least some of the time, and possibly also not necessarily take a long time to actually settle on a single type and keep wanting to revisit it.
Thank you, Trouble.
Well, what do you get mad at them about? It really depends whether, see, this is the thing, Bupo Peregrines. It matters whether you get mad at them about things that you should get mad about or not. FI people have trouble with this concept. Yes, it's true all your feelings are valid, but only some of them are justified. So if you get mad for unjust reasons, then you're the problem. And you don't have to necessarily be toxic to be the problem. Jeffrey's mom is not toxic, but her NI polar and TE dom nature make her want to do things like Well, that's a plenty good reason to be mad at them, Bufo Peregrine. I mean, sure, Cushion. Cushion? Like locution, electrocution, um, illocution. I mean, I tend to think that it's probably less bad for a female to do that than a male to do that. I don't know if that's wrong of me to say, but I tend to have the perspective like that one skit on Saturday Night Live featuring that guy who does the Taco Bell commercials.
Oh, Pete Davidson?
Yeah. On the stand is a high school kid, and the lawyer's interviewing him about his teacher having sex with him, and she's like, "And were you called names?" "Yes, I was, ma'am. Things like Mac Daddy, the pimp, Pimp Daddy, the Slayer." No, well, especially if you know more about the specifics that make you have good reason to be mad about it, then um, it's understandable you'd be mad about something for a long time. I also stay mad about things for a long time. I wake up sometimes mad about things that happened years ago, you know? Even as we were driving back from our very pleasant dinner tonight, at oh, thanks, Cushion. Well, I'm glad to hear you found it. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. That's very kind of you to say. Um, I at dinner, Rachel's face, adorable face, turned sour for a moment, and she said she was thinking about Katie, who's one of Delilah's in-law relatives, like aunt-in-law, I guess you'd call her or something. Anyway, and her story is one of her husband being just a total prick, and Katie being anti-polar and not being able to understand that there are some things that you just have to be definitive about. This is a deal breaker. Not everything has an equally vague lack of relevance, which is what anti-polar tends to think.
Yeah. But I was asking Eric about it because I was confused because I think of ESTJs as being very capable of being on their own. So it's
I think that's because we don't really understand force slot Fi very well.
no.
That's not true, Boomer Berglings. In general, when people violate your boundaries, it doesn't matter if you were firm about it in the first place or not. They shouldn't be pushing those gray areas anyway. Now, if you're in that situation, if you're not even sure what they are yourself, then now you're sounding like an INFJ. Or you're not sure what your own boundaries are. Or like an ENTP or an ESTP. That sounds very 6th or 7th slot FI. Probably you're mistaking the natural vagary of FI for being a lack of clarity about what's important to you. There is, unfortunately, an implicit mush togetheriness with feelings. Because you might really like this person and you might want to, you know, you might want to engage with them in ways that make them happy. But I don't know. When I start talking about FI, I just lose my capacity to speak. It just confusingly complicated. Being misunderstood makes you equally mad and sad, I think. Being misunderstood makes me mad. Being not understood makes me like, at this point, it's just like, man, whatever. You know, I'm just accustomed to that by now. There. FI is mushy mush. It's mushy peas, which are gross. I agree that mushy peas are gross. I don't think anybody's going to dispute that. Unless you're a baby. Newborn babies, they get mushy peas.
They do. And
I don't know if they like them
I
or
don't
not.
know. I think banana seems to be a one that babies like. Apricot seems to be one that babies like.
They'll eat carrots.
Yeah, carrots.
They're not huge fans of peas, I guess,
Well,
probably.
I guess not.
I don't remember when Delilah was on. In that brief period of time between formula and solid foods. It's not a very long time that they eat those little jars of baby food.
Really?
You know? Yeah, it's not a particularly long time.
I didn't know that. Because, like, my mom would always say how expensive it was.
Well, I mean, you don't have to feed babies that. You could just make regular food and mush it up.
Oh.
But, you know, especially parents of the first child, like when Delilah was born, I was just like, wow, I better buy the baby food because they know what babies are supposed to eat, and I don't know what babies are supposed to eat. But now if I were to have a kid, I'd be like, fuck those baby food people. Babies can eat regular food like they have for all of human history. You just got to make it mushy for them. I don't remember ever really having canned peas, no. My mother always grew snow peas. So when we had peas,
those are good.
We had those snow peas.
Snappy, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. Mashed potatoes are fine. If you're gonna mash something, you can mash potatoes. I could imagine putting peas in a pot roast, a small amount of peas.
A small amount.
Which would give a slight bit of split pea soup flavor.
Right, yeah.
I'm not opposed to split pea soup, but if you're gonna mush up your peas, why not just mush them all the way into a soup? You know, the water level on that thing is very low because you have you have two choices. You either keep it very low like that, or you get constant kisses. You may be getting kisses.
I am getting kisses. Yeah.
It's a very kiss heavy bond. But what I was gonna say is, when you smoke it, try to make the bottom part even with the ground, and let the curve do the tilting instead of tilting it at all, and then you'll get more through the water and less kiss.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Applesauce is good.
Applesauce is good.
Fusion, you're winning a mushiness point here with your pointing out applesauce.
Yeah.
I'm going to concede that. Pudding, also best served mushy. There are some things that are best served mushy. I think applesauce is probably better than eating a regular apple. I also I'm not one to get the baked potato usually. Usually I'll get the mashed.
Yeah, me too.
You know.
There's a little less work that's put into eating mashed potatoes, in my mind.
I think next time I go to the restaurant, I'm going to ask for mashed potatoes, but can the chef form them into the shape of a baked potato?
That's a good idea.
And maybe put it back in the potato skin so that it really looks like a baked potato. Oh no, Cushion. Oh no. Oh no, you did not. You did not just go there. This is a house that honors the Lord by disliking sweet potatoes, yams, or whatever else you might call them.
Okay, so I have to admit then, if this is the house of non-sweet potatoes, that I used to get sweet potato fries and gravy at this like bar that I used to go to that served food. But it was my friend who like kind of turned me on to it. I didn't go out seeking. They're just so mushy.
Okay, well that's fine, Rachel. I'm okay with that confession of yours.
It was just, and it was a short time.
Every once in a while, we learn a new fact about our significant other's past. And you know what, Rachel? This is a fact that I'm okay with learning.
Okay.
I'm fine with it. Because you know what? Even though I hate sweet potatoes.
I do too. I don't like them either.
I actually don't care if you like them at all.
I don't like them. I think they're gross. When my mom used to make them, because of course she wanted to be healthier, she would make them, and like I would have to like salt, pepper, douse it in butter to like make it taste good. I never liked them. It was so gross.
Do I like poi? No, I don't like poi.
We both don't like poi.
Poi is terrible.
As soon as I tasted it, I was like, this tastes like feelings.
It tastes like feelings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no pumpkin. We're gonna excise squash from the menu entirely. All forms of squash.
Okay, so
pumpkin pie is fine on the holidays only.
It makes me think of two things. One, what kind of pie do you like to have on Thanksgiving?
Pumpkin pie is fine then. But I want to ask you a question. Did you say taste like ceiling or taste like feelings?
Feeling.
Feelings. Tastes like feelings.
Yeah, like you could like when the woman was talking about when we were in Hawaii, poise the Hawaii. Yeah, when we were in Hawaii and the woman was talking about poi and how it's such a blessing to have poi and how it's so enriched in the Hawaiian culture. I tasted it and I was like, oh, these are like feelings.
It just tastes like gross gray meh.
Nothing. It tastes like it has like no taste. It's weird. It's purple.
Yeah, it just tastes like gross mush. Like bland but faintly gross mush. So yeah, I don't like any of your squashes. I don't like zucchini. Just get your zucchini out of here.
Thank you. It's so refreshing. I like asparagus. Asparagus I do enjoy.
You think using your TI might be like trying to swallow a live octopus? When you say it keeps trying to climb back out of your throat like your feelings? Well, I'm a big believer in just letting octopuses stay in the ocean.
Me too. And squids can stay there too.
Yeah, squids can just stay in the ocean too.
gross. They're
There's
so
no reason to
creepy.
take them out of there and eat them. No reason I can think of.
Honestly, you help because of my FE tool, I'm more likely to try things and listen to things that I don't necessarily like because I want to somehow merge with the person that I'm with. And I mean that it was friends and family, like every on every one-on-one person relation.
I,
You help me refine my taste so much.
but see, this is what I was thinking when you were going there is, and then what happens with all of these people? They end up liking dumb shit.
They Yeah, and I
And then
never
you're,
share any of the stuff
and
that
then
I
your,
listen to
and then
with
your
them.
NI and your FE are in conflict with each other.
Yeah, they are.
That's why you like me, because
But really, you do help me refine my taste. Like, there's still things that I might enjoy that you might not, but you your taste is so
I,
good.
I think we both had the same experiences, which is we didn't want to let the other person catch us listening to something bad.
That's possible. I was always searching for music though. So anything that had like even a touch of what I liked, I would put it on a playlist and feel it out. Just because I was like, "Oh my god, I haven't heard something different and enjoyable in a while. I'm going to put this on my playlist."
Right. Well, it was you who ultimately made me start listening to and searching for more new music because I had to keep the playlist fresh enough, at least until it got super big. It got pretty big eventually,
Yeah, it's huge now.
But that it kept your interest when we were in the car.
I love Jack Jacks. I love all your playlists.
What's my water animal?
That's a good question.
Is my penis a water animal? It makes water.
Your penis makes water?
Well, urine anyway. Urine is water with some yellow stuff in it. I guess it's not really my penis that makes the urine so much as it is the penis that is the tube out of which the urine emerges. I guess you could say it channels the urine, or it tubularly directs the urine. It spits the urine. That's possible as well. Um, Hopefully, it does more than just spit a little urine. You want it to. You want it to fountain forth. You want it to bloom forth like a fountain. And then I watched my urine bloom forth like a fountain of golden goodness. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's an early hit song of John Denver's. In his yellow phase, as he called it. And he had a lot of songs about urine back then. Like Urethra, You Are the Real Golden Road was one of his early classics. It was a reference to both urine and The Wizard of Oz. There are a number of lyrics about Judy Garland in that song. And one of the lyrics is, like Judy Garland said, there isn't any house like the one I grew up in. Which was, of course, a reference to her famous line, "We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto." Comedy jokes. No, it was actually a reference to her famous line, "There's no place like home." If you hadn't yet put two and two together to equal four. Or whatever else you wanted it to equal. You don't have to have it equal four. Sometimes I put two and two together and call it six. I'm an iconoclast, you know. I like to rebel against the conventional wisdom. This phone is very dumbly and precariously perched right now. Like this whole apparatus could fall over at any second. I got my hand at the ready to grab it if it starts to go. Oh God. The tripod suspended, supported in the middle of this slightly bowed piece of wood on this little circle in the middle of it. I've got the weight perfectly balanced so that it's staying there, but like the slightest breeze would probably blow it over. Every time you consider that, the Type Police theme song, one of the top 10 songs of recent years. Well, thank you, Kyushin. That one has always garnered a lot of positive regard. Makes me happy to hear somebody say that. I'm always pleased when somebody likes the music I made. As long as it's something good. They like something bad that I made, then I just think, well, that's nice, but they're wrong. I do think that one came out good. I remember one time I made a video saying how to play that song. And some commenter, maybe it was Ruben, I don't know who it was, corrected me. I was like, that's not how you play it.
Really?
Yeah. You play it like they put down how to actually play it.
Wow.
I was like, you know, maybe it was Sean Ryan Barron. It's like, that's not right. Well, Bufo Peregrines. The truth is, we haven't gotten around to it, but we have acquired new polite Type Police costumes, which I'm going to show you right now. And best of all, we are now not just the Type Police of America, we're specifically the Type Police of New York.
Wow, that's like pretty high ranking stuff. They make TV shows out of.
Right. So the Type Police works out of a gritty brownstone in Tribeca.
Why is that?
I'm not sure where Tribeca is, but it's a place in New York.
I can't even tell you myself.
It's down near the OTP, you know.
Down near the OTP.
It's right across from the, what are those little stores called again?
Bodegas?
Bodega. It's right across from the bodega. And here are my modesty pants that come with it. And my holster.
Meow. Yes, Daddy has a police costume.
Plus a belt. some cat ears that don't go with this costume. And this thing.
It's a cat tail.
And a hat. It's also got somewhere over there a badge. So I like how kind of British the New York Type Police hats are.
They are kind of British.
Rachel, she's a much sexier type policeman than I am. As you can see.
I'm gonna give you the cuffs though.
You're gonna give me the cuffs?
Yeah.
You just don't feel like that much of a dominatrix, huh?
I am a 9.
That's true. Here's the badge.
Oh, good. You still have the badge.
It's a plain badge.
I think you look good in it.
I'm surprised this hat fits so well.
It does.
I didn't want to go around town wearing this hat.
Cool.
No, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Although it's such like a Judas Priest gay.
Yes!
Hat, you know?
Totally Judas Priest gay hat. Son, holder, be safe.
Wear your heart at, bright green safety vest and modesty pants. Your sign says slow, but you wave me fast as my wife and I confusedly drive past. Oh, trouble, you're so happy to be here. Yes, because your sister is right there, but you're still getting all the pats.
Uh-huh. You learned from her to come over to us, and then you'll get pets.
Well, he's learned that as long as he doesn't bother her, he'll be allowed to get pets over here. Yeah. And he sees it as an opportunity to make her space even smaller.
Yes, he does.
Because he's a narcissist.
Yes, you are. Mommy and Daddy love you. Oh, yes.
Move for Peregrines. I will not pull you over. I promise, okay? The last thing I want to do is hurt an F.I. Dom's feelings.
They'll never forget.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of criteria you have to meet to get pulled over by the Type Police. I think the person I want to pull over is somebody who's claiming to be F.I. Polar and probably is. Although I haven't watched any of his content myself yet. I'm basing that on what somebody else said, but Street Urchin. I want to pull over Street Urchin. He claims to be an ENTP. This person I typed recently said that they thought the badge number is 420. It might be. Or it might be 420 in binary. Let me see what that is.
What does the B stand for?
I don't know what that is. Oh. It's 110 100 100. So that would be a good badge number.
That would be a really sci-fi number.
110 100 100. That's binary. So this OB just is a way of indicating this number that follows it is a binary representation of a decimal number.
Ah, okay.
So, So that's just what that means. So 0 be in front of it. 110, 100, 100. Easy one to remember. You know, there is, believe it or not, a road 420 on the highway between here and Oakhurst. Aren't you glad we don't have to go to Oakhurst anymore?
Yeah.
Didn't going to Oakhurst suck?
Yeah, it did.
Meow.
Whereas going into town doesn't suck.
No, going to Mariposa doesn't suck.
Yeah. I think you need food, maybe. Maybe not. I'm gonna check.
He's fine. Well, 4,000 subs definitely qualifies you as being pulled over. Um, but Street Urchin appeals to me because he claims to be an ENTP, so I feel like it's become a bit of an unfortunate specialty of the type police to pull over fake ENTPs. ENFPs are your courage teachers? Hmm. I've had somebody else say the opposite, Winston's mom. But I will find out. I haven't viewed any of the content, so it remains to be seen. You're starting to doubt your type again? Eliana Diaz, you're about as cut and dry as a type can be, it seems to me.
Did you type her?
Isn't she an ISFP? She's that lady with the braces.
Oh, yeah, ISFP.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I remember your typing much more than I do most people's typings for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
Eliana Diaz, like, I even have, like, times where I doubt my, type. I'll be, like, I'll, like, gaslight myself, kind of, as in, like, I see things written about me being an ESFJ, so I'm like, wait, am I, like, just being dumb? And I'm not noticing that I'm an ESFJ, but then, like...
The only way you could possibly think you're an ESFJ is have very little clear concept about what SI is.
That's true. They don't.
I've been with an ESFJ, then I was with an ISFJ. You are not SI 1 or 2. I mean, it's impossible. They're so different than you.
Yeah, I think so too, but then I'll read that stuff and, like, you know, I don't know myself
It's just
well,
idiot haters trying to shit on Eric. You think you're an SI, Dom? Do you think you're an ISTJ? Today is going to be a great day as SI front stack. What makes you think that? Well, sign having is more of an ESFJ thing. Okay? ISFJs, they have such an unconscious relationship with NI, and it's not an absolute value. ESFJs have a baby relationship with NI, and it is an absolute value. So they put up signs like, today I choose joy. But that's not expressive of SI. That's expressive of their bad relationship with NI. And I guess expressive of SI as a tool function, like, if I repeatedly see something, it will become my reality. I guess. I don't know. But I don't think the fact that you say today is gonna be a great day means that you're an SI dom. No. Cognitive functions don't work that way for paragleans, and even if they did, it would work the opposite direction, not that way. If people could be changed like that, they'd be changed from intuitives into sensors all the time because the world's fundamentally hostile to intuitives and it's not towards sensors. Especially, well, not all intuitives, but especially like NTPs, INFJ, um, probably INTJ experiences the world as fundamentally hostile to them. Of those four types, INTJ is much more effective at dealing with it, but probably is most angry about it. you know, Meow. I mean, the one thing that every legitimate INTJ I've ever talked to has identified with, and when I said it, it's like it's the first time in the whole typing session I see them smile. When I say, you identify with the following statement: everyone is doing everything wrong, and though am, though I feel a great deal of rage about it, I show nothing, and they all go, you've identified the core of my being. It's funny how much every single one of them identifies with that statement. Everyone's doing everything wrong, and though I'm angry about it, I show nothing. Like, I can't even get this to do what I had it doing last time. That's how. Oh, there it is. Oh, yep, there it is. Whoop, there it is, as they say in that one song. What song am I talking about? I'm talking about the song called Whoop, There It Is. Look at me, getting fat and sassy. This is called lassitude and indulgence. Not really the word I was looking for, lassitude. I can't think of the word I was looking for. What's that word that means somebody who has an inactive lifestyle and just sits around all the time? It's not lassitude. But we can all agree that we wish it were. Sedentary. Yes. Thank you. It that was the word. Correct. You get one wonder point for that, Kishin. Congratulations. It's, I think, your first wonder point. Now, it is Tuesday, not Wednesday. On Wednesday, wonder point values are doubled. So your wonder point is just a single wonder point, but you can store those up and eventually trade them in for a mega wonder point. You should get 1,000 of them. You might be saying, Eric, why isn't that a killer wonder point? Okay, you're right. It's a kilo wonder point. A mega wonder point requires you to accumulate 1,000,000 wonder points. So I'm sorry for using the incorrect language there. Anyhow, I was discussing something of great importance before deviating into the discussion of killer and mega wonder points. Ah, yes, my sedentary lifestyle. This is a combination of sedentarianism and indolence and indulgence. All three are wonderful things. Sedentarianism, indolence, and indulgence. That's AKA the good life. Eric, you're sounding suspiciously like a hedonist. Your mom's a hedonist. I have a little bit of hedonism in me, but I don't have debauchery in me. Debauchery is hedonism involving sex. Oh, Kitty, you don't need us to go sit with you in the kitchen. Oh, well.
See, he like love bombs us because he'll be like all cute and innocent and give us a little,
Right, but really.
But really, he's gonna start getting fresh and be like, meow, meow.
There's an angry meow soon to follow if we don't obey fast enough. Where did I put my glasses?
In the garage, maybe?
Oh, Eric. You glasses loser. You just saw the biggest spider in the world? Okay, meow. You want to come sit at the table? All right, I'll come sit at the table with you. Even though you're not hungry and you're just coming over here to get me to come over here. You'll make a show of eating a few bites for me anyway. Thank you, I appreciate that. You want to make sure I'm well trained. Oh, yes. What a good kitty. What a good narcissist you are.
It really was him. He was meowing because he wanted.
I mean, he's eating a few bites of food, but it's not because he's actually hungry.
My gosh. You're just supposed to pay attention.
Yeah, he just needs things to be about him again.
I want to pet his paw so bad.
Well, do that. You might get. You might draw blood. You know, he's a narcissist. We could try it at the same time and catch him by double surprise. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that was a good warning, Trouble.
He's like, those are off limits.
Yeah.
There comes puppy there. Yes, these are places where you are allowed to pet me. And see if he immediately meows for more food on his plate.
See.
Yeah. Because he normally doesn't like to have his plate not have food on it, even if he's full.
So this guy that does cat vlogs on YouTube said that dry cat food is like the worst cat food you can give to your cat. Yeah, I know.
It's actually the opposite's true. If you give them wet food, it's bad for their teeth.
Oh, and this is also on ears. Okay. Sorry.
It's like, let me make them sit here a little while longer.
I'll eat every single bit off this plate. Drink water.
Hi, Mr. Man. He's like, no, go get water, then you guys will think it's okay for you to get up and leave.
Oh.
And he wants to be front and center right on camera. Oh, yes. What an important gentleman you are. Daddy knows. And Daddy loves.
Are you shy now?
No, he's not going to get water because he knows that if he gets water, then he will think we're allowed to leave. Right now he's purring because we're both in here attending to him. But he doesn't really want to be pet either.
No, he definitely doesn't.
He's got swishy tail syndrome.
Would you like 100 grand?
No, thank you. You can see his swishy tail swishing. That's his way of saying, I am successfully being dominant right now.
Yeah, he is.
You are sitting here, you are not petting me, and I'm swishing my tail to establish that I'm in charge. I'm not sure how I feel about this you eating something, but that's what
Again,
he's,
narcissist.
yeah, that's what he's saying. Like, oh, you want to pay attention to your candy bar? Well, let me go show you how much power I have.
Sure you're fine hanging out here, huh? Oh, what a kitty happy face.
Rachel successfully expanded his pet boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she gives him lots of pets until he's really about to scratch her, and then she'll be like, okay, I'll stop.
It's a dangerous feat, it really is, because I do push it. I really do.
It's a tightrope walk.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell when the purr starts to get a certain quality that it's It's like I'm gonna turn from love to violence any minute now.
I don't even listen to that. It's so bad. I'm bad when it comes to it. I I just can't help it. I know not to go directly at him like that. You can see, like, and when we're in bed, if he's missing me, I have to go like this over him. This, yeah, he's open to that. But if I go like that, sorry, I was just imitating you. Didn't mean to startle you.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You can remain unstartled. Yeah, well, like today when I was in bed with him, I got up to pee, we got back in bed, and I wanted to pet him, but he was in sleep mode, and he tolerated like 2 pets and then gave me the wide-eyed look, like, you better stop petting me right now.
That's good. You understood the look.
Well, I just said, okay. Of course, then when I actually get comfortable, he repositions himself to push himself all against me,
You're not gonna move.
This is what he wants us to do all evening long, is sit at the table with him.
I wonder if Ruben asks for his loved ones to continue sitting with him at the table.
And just sit around him all evening.
Yeah.
No, I think that's just an ENFJ narcissist like trouble.
Oh, look at that cute
yes.
face in the film.
What a good kitty you are.
Go for it. I know you want it. Yes, good boy.
Well, this is our chance, Rachel. Do you want to escape into the garage?
Yeah.
I'll take your wrapper. Okay, so let me get, I guess my drink's in the garage too, probably. It might be out here, let me look. No, it's not. So it must be in the garage too. So presumably everything I need should be in the garage. Cigarettes and a drink. Plus light, plus fan, plus my glasses. In fact, that's the reality I've come to discover, is that everything I need is in the garage. Watching cats and eating candy. It's the best kind of therapy there is. Watching cats and eating candy would be like a good video for ISFJs. A good song for ISFJs.
Yes.
You get an ISFJ woman to be the actress in the music video for this. Watching cats and eating candy.
Well, look who's with us. No surprise.
Just before I go to bed. I'm gonna get 9 hours.
Yeah.
Before I get up in bed. Now, not watching candy and eating cats. No. Watching cats and eating candy like North Korea. They have to watch candy and eat cats.
Yeah, it is.
Well, there's not that much drink left in this drink after all. I was overestimating this drink when I came out here.
Oh. I get a new one.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a full one in the car. I don't think you opened it.
Nope.
So I'm just going to leave that there since it's not open.
It'll get cold.
It'll get colder than it is now.
Yeah.
It'll be less cold than if it were in the fridge.
Yes.
But when you want to drink in the car, coldness is not that important, really. So no troubles come out to scoop sand all over the floor. So that he can force me to go clean it up.
He really is. I can't believe how much he scooped out. Again, narcissists doing things without care of other people.
I'd say watching candy is probably the strangest of those. Yes, Bufo Peregrines. As I would tell my debaters, don't ask people if you can ask a question. That's already a question. Of course, granted, this isn't a debate round. I used to hate it when in Crossfire. This only happens in Crossfire, not in Cross-X. So it only happens in public forum. But there's a public forum where they don't have cross-examination. So you can bully your way to control a Cross-X if you do it properly. Or Crossfire, they call it. Anyway, then kids would be like, can I ask the first question? Don't ask that. And I told them if the other people asked that to answer it, yes, and that was it. I don't think they probably actually did it, though. Maybe some of the more bold ones tried it out. Well, like FI7, you can mostly only, they're either fine or they're grumpy, you know? If they're fine, then everything's fine. If they're grumpy, then you probably have, if you're me, you know what the reason is. If you pushed Rachel's S's too far. Have I ever taken trazodone, and what does that do for you? I think I have taken trazodone. What were those pills that Cameron left me? A little 25 milligram Seroquels. Trazodone I don't like. Trazodone makes me feel insane. No, it's not that Rachel needs alone time to recharge per se. It's that I pushed on her S's too much. Like I've pushed us doing things for too long, and she's used up all of her S. But SI8, you push yourself until you push yourself too far and then you recognize it because you're super unconscious, you know. So, um, what Rachel needs to do when she needs to recharge is sleep, rest, listen to YouTube videos, whatever. Some of that is stuff that needs her to have alone time, but that's never been an issue with her and me. Like, um, I don't, when I'm by myself, I tend to think, I might feel like sometimes like I'm waiting for Rachel to get up, but yeah, he doesn't want you worrying. And also, um, he's very unconscious of his physical sensations. So he probably mistakes his SI for FI to some extent, which he countervalues. Yeah, I mean, I worry about Rachel's bad SI sometimes. Not in general, not anymore really, but it's caused us problems in the past. It feels like an intrusive psychotic poison to me. Yeah, I had a similar. He's the guy who took Tums for a heart attack once. Yeah, well, that's SI8 for you. They don't have good clarity about their state of well-being or lack thereof. Yeah, well, S-side polar is probably even worse about it. In some ways, anyway. Well, I guess I'll smoke the rest of this cigarette and then go inside. I got so much sleep today, I'm not feeling especially sleepy. Hi there.
Hi.
Not unlike the Backstreet Boys, you are back.
Rachel's back. All right.
Yeah. Maybe show media. Maybe that's something you can convert your wonder points for.
Yeah.
It's not a bad notion. I like that idea.
I do too.
Okay, I don't need to take. Well, I might as well take 2 packs of cigarettes inside. I don't need more than one out here. Let me throw this trash away. Now let me clean the litter box. Trouble was gracious enough to just go pee. Just go pee and, of course, kick litter all over the ground. Can't forget that. Suppose I should pour a little bit more litter into here. I gotta say, I'm impressed with how long a jug of cat litter lasts. It's a pretty efficient solution. Well, at least now when there's not a bunch of snow on the ground outside. I guess they'll probably use the litter box a lot more during the winter time. If we get snow like we got last year. How did you get back in? How did he get back in?
I don't know.
Did you see him come back in from outside?
No. He was outside?
Yeah, he went outside after he went in the litter box.
I didn't see him come back in at all.
Did I let him back in without noticing it? I think I might have done that.
Maybe.
This is an
I don't
effective
know.
controller that
How did you get inside?
I must have let him back in without even noticing it. Because he would not have gone back through the cat door. He will wait at the door until one of us lets him back in the house. You thought plastic wrap was a ghost? Well, it's kind of very ghost-like, so it's understandable. Like, I'm constantly mistaking toilet paper for a ghost. Trouble, what are you doing? He's standing here getting pets and mad dogging his sister in her bed.
Yeah, he is. That is so mean.
Just stop it. Kapita's not even jealous. Okay?
She's not.
She's just relaxing. This narcissistic cat. Look, you see how much he's like up in our business all the time? Whereas our other cat is just peacefully sitting over there. Minding her own business. This little bed we have tucked away for her behind the guitars. Blanket rides? I don't think our cats go on blanket rides.
They don't want to play with each other anyway. Like Trouble wants to dominate the space in here. So he wouldn't tolerate being on the same blanket as Capio.
Yeah, so like right now, he's curtailing her space to just right over there, not quite getting that she doesn't care. She's just sleeping over there, relaxing, and not trying to play who. No, I did not go on any rant about the Middle East conflict. I have commented upon it as simply a matter of like the Palestinians may have a perfectly good case, but nobody's going to side with you when you blow up a festival of music goers.
Yeah. That sounds really pleasant, Winston's mom.
People call Birkenstocks unfeminine.
Yeah, they do. There's this one YouTuber who, like, is always like, if you want to look like an elegant lady, do not wear these. And she comes out wearing Birkenstocks. And I'm like, damn, you call me out.
Well, I mean, in some sense, she's right. Like, if you went to an elegant dinner party or something, you probably wouldn't wear your Birkenstocks. But why should you want to look like an elegant lady in contexts that aren't like? Should you wear your Jimmy Choo shoes to Mariposa for dinner?
So what she would say, what she suggests instead of a Birkenstock shoe, like she says, wear a slide-in loafer. And all of this is to be elegant so that you get a boyfriend.
You already have a boyfriend.
I know, I have a husband.
I don't think there's anything manly about these.
I don't think they're manly.
Rachel's tiny little Birkenstocks.
Really. And honestly, like, they are unisex because Corey, when he was up here, said that he had thought about buying Birkenstocks. And I can see him rocking them.
Somebody in your 20s said your style was lesbian. That is a pretty good term.
I like that.
Ruben R., you care a lot about being an elegant lady. Me, I like to be more of a strong woman, but Ruben likes to be an elegant lady. His reasoning is, if you're going to be a lady, why not be an elegant one?
Yeah.
But my reasoning is, I'm a strong woman. I'm such a strong woman that I'm a man.
Wow, you circled all around.
Yeah, that's how strong of a woman I am.
Wow.
What do you mean that's insulting? Okay, well, it is 9:15.
Oh my gosh, no way.
That's extremely late for us.
Yeah, for us, it's way past my bedtime.
But, you know, I got a lot of sleep today. And even though I know it drives away a few people sometimes, I think it's time to pull a bit of a tarot card
I was
first.
going to suggest doing this too. You know how we
Sure.
do it in the story?
Sure, we could do that too. First, I will pull just one of these for a person. Then we'll pull a story worth of this.
Yeah.
You pull a story of this.
Okay.
Okay, so first person up is Show Media. They're the last person to say something.
Ooh, Hanged Man.
The Hanged Man. Suspend. Pause. Clarity. Lull. Bodhi. The Hanged
What
Man.
does Bodhi mean?
The Bodhi tree.
Oh.
It's the tree that the Buddha sat under to get enlightened.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
His point is, sometimes the best way to become enlightened is to just sit someplace and do nothing. So now let's
Pick a
pull.
card for the collective.
I could do that, but first let's pull those other things.
Okay. We're gonna use the Prism Oracle guide, Prism Oracle deck to tell a story. I always see you when you're walking to somewhere. You're so restless. What must be over there? I always see you when you're walking to somewhere. You're so restless. It must be special there. Do 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 do.
I'm going to pee, so I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Hey, Luminix. Did I pronounce it right? It looks really pretty. I like your change of name. It's really nice.
That's just one of her several accounts.
No, it's her. She changed her.
No, I know, but she has one. That's one of several accounts she has.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's come in as that before.
Oh.
No trouble.
Okay, good. Luminix.
You are a beautiful man.
I like the all lowercase too. It looks really cool. I watched your video and it was really great. Your last video. That was really, really good.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought so. I thought you only had. Luminex says only 2 accounts I renamed Mufei.
oh, my mistake.
I also have Ludefay, but I haven't used it in months. I have a second account too that I just like never use. I forget I have it. I don't see you when you're walking to somewhere. I'm doing a heavy shuffle of this deck so that we get the most accurate readings for you guys out there to determine your fate without any needing of correction, without any. My ending is really bad. I can't even think of words right now. Without any doubt that you will not be getting the most accurate reading for you when we give you these readings. I'm putting extra special power into them.
In other words, she's waiting for me to finish peeing.
Mm-hmm.
There, I've begun to pee now.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Chris Chapin says, now I want a reading. Hey, Oliver Linehan, salutations to you. I want real love, baby. Ooh, don't mean to take it, but I need love, baby. My heart, I feel. So tell me what's wrong with the feeling. I'm a flower, you're the bee. Does anyone like Father John Misty? I only know 2 of his songs, but yeah. It gets stuck in my head.
Okay, I'm back. Am I supposed to pick them?
Oh, I didn't think about it, really. I just handed two to you. It felt right.
You pick one.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we got here. This is for show media. Mystery, energy, caution,
Oops, the screen.
and comfort. If you don't use caution about mysterious energies, you could sacrifice your comfort.
It's a good read.
All right, no problem, Bufo Peregrines. We'll do our best to continue existing. All right, Chris Chapin, you asked for it. Chris Chapin,
Please, trouble.
you get the High Priestess. Intuition, feminine, sense, feel, omens, vibes, High Priestess.
Ooh.
Now let's see what we get in those other cards. Then I will pull a card for the collective as per Boba Fett's expressed wish.
Oh my gosh, there's a tiny kitty in Luminex's life.
That's too much, bro.
Okay.
Alright.
Chris Chapin.
Chris Chapin, you got this card, this card. No, that's a twofer. I would take a twofer. The immutable law of cards. I just say that to tease Lou when she's here.
Oh, your friend got two and you visited them. How were they? Were they adorable? Oh my gosh. They're all like fluff and bones at that point. They're so cute. Okay, Chris Chapin. Chris Chapin.
Chris Chapin, hunger, growth, magic, stop. So you may hunger for growth, but you need to stop trying to accomplish that with magic.
Ooh, that's good advice there.
No. You can't accomplish growth with magic. It's only through the careful and meaningful art of meaning making. Or whatever specific to your type.
Okay, so one for the collective.
Yeah. So we'll pull one of these for the collective and four of those for the collective.
Anyone else want a reading?
This is for all 13 people here.
Ooh, the Queen of Cups.
Mystic, deep, seer, Queen of Cups. So all of you, look at your weird bronze gadget more closely. It's got something to say. I am a robot.
Oh, Rubinar wanted had a request.
Okay, I'll scroll up to it.
Okay.
In the meantime, we got to pull
yeah.
4 cards for the collective.
Okay, here you go.
1. Two. I can't tell if I got 1 or 2 of these cards.
Yeah. They're thicker.
3. And 4. All right, collective. Let's see what we got. Determination. The other ones are kind of hard to read. Growth. Rest. And hunger.
Interesting.
Determination will cause more hunger than growth unless you rest.
Yes.
Determination will cause more hunger than growth unless you rest.
That's for all of us here. That's for the collective.
Yeah. So now we're going to scroll to Ruben's request and see what it is. Can you pull a card for Acacia, C.S. Joseph, and yourself? Chances of a throuple working out? Oh, so are we going public? I've been hesitant to mention anything because I wasn't sure if you guys were going public. Sounds like Ruben's willing to go public. So, you know, you guys should know. Rachel and I had a video conference the other day with Ruben and Acacia, anticipating that Ruben was going to be in one place and Acacia was going to be in the other place. But you know what? They were both in the same place, and it was a motel room. So I'll let you guys do the math there. Okay? So here's, I'm going to pull 3 cards. 1 for you, 1 for Acacia, and 1 for C.S. Joseph. That's for Ruben. That's just for Acacia. And this is for C.S. Joseph. But needless to say, Ruben and Acacia are not the first couple from TWF's history, but it always surprises me every time. So for Ruben, 4 of Cups, consider, offering, ponder, ideas, bide. For Acacia, the Emperor, authority, patriarchy, seasoned, clout, virtuoso. For C.S. Joseph, the Moon card. He's just dreaming with his emotions in the haze of his unconscious escapism.
Yeah.
But you don't gotta worry about him hosing in on your girl, Ruben. Now I'm gonna pull a 4 thing for you and Acacia. There's one of them. That one just jumped right
Yeah,
out.
it did.
This one jumped right out too. And number 4. That one. So we've got creativity, passion, consciousness, and anxiety. There's no reason to be anxious if you're conscious that your passion is an act of creativity. There's no reason to feel anxious if you're conscious that your passion is an act of creativity.
That's a good read.
If you want it to be more negative, you could say your creative passion makes you conscious of anxiety. That's the neurotic version of it.
Yeah, those cards tell different kinds of stories depending on how you put it.
Right. Your creative passion makes you conscious of anxiety.
What was the
Or,
first one?
there's no reason to be anxious if you're conscious of your passion is a creative endeavor. So you pick whichever interpretation of that you like better. Normally, I like to force one interpretation on a person, but not not necessarily always. You need that throuple to work. Well, I know Acacia has long had a deep and passionate admiration of C.S. Joseph. I mean, don't we all, really? Now for Lou to Fay. Or just Lou, or whatever she wants me to call her. Number one, Piao. You get the impetuous, enthusiastic, naive, eager, bright, exuberant Page of Rods hasty card. It's got one negative word on it, hasty. Now, let's see what the prison cards say. They're called prism cards, but I like to call them the prison cards.
Prison?
Yeah. Just joking.
I like it.
This one, very well. And lastly, what shall be your choice? This one? No, that's a twofer.
That's good to hear, Missy. Do I hello? Do we?
I think it's Doy.
Doy?
No, it's spelled Doy. All right. Confidence, love, strength, fear.
Ooh.
Love is your strength and gives you confidence over fear.
Yes. Luminex says, spot on, my friend. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I'm going to do Misty Joy. Then I'll do Winston's mom. I need to pull one of these first. One of these for Misty Joy, who's more or less happy today. You know, every day you're either more or less happy than the day before, unless you're exactly the same happy.
Ooh, the second time we're pulling this.
Mr. Joy gets the Hanged Man. Suspend, pause, clarity, Bodhi, lull, suspend. Those are all the words on this. Now, one, two, three, four for Misty Joy. Una, comfort, dos, fear. Trace, determination. And quattro, ideation. Just as ideation gives you comfort, so too can determination help you to overcome fear. Just as ideation gives you comfort, so too can determination Help you to overcome fear. And it's clear that ideation does give you comfort, or else you wouldn't be hanging around this place. I don't know who Skater Doy is.
Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
No, Skater Doy.
I know, I think that he was...
He's referencing Skater Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Now, Mrs. Mom, I'm going to pull 4 of these for you. First, I'll pull 1 of these for you. You also get this one, the High Priestess.
Oh, wow.
That's come out a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Intuition, feminine, sense, feel, omens, vibes, High Priestess. Now, let's pull 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's take a look, see what the prism cards have for Winston's mom. Frustration, peace, ghost, and anxiety. Frustration and anxiety are the ghosts of peace.
Ooh, yeah, it is.
Frustration and anxiety are the ghosts of peace. I got a pull for you, KP. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it. That's a good sentence. Frustration and anxiety are the ghosts of peace.
Yes, the ghosts of peace.
All right, KP. Tonight we're doing 1 tarot card and 4 prism cards. The prism cards will break your ordinary white light into multiple different colors. Karma's pimp in the park. I think it was the 4th of July.
I don't even... What's a Sundance catalog? I've never heard of it before.
You got the 8 of Pentacles. Artisan, skill, satisfaction, groove, flow, prosper, gratification, craftsman.
Working for a living, living or working. Taking what you're giving because you're working for a living.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Now, KP, 4 prism cards. They help you refract light. No, Eric, they help you diffract light. I don't remember which one it is. Cleanse. Ghost. Intuition. And frustration. Intuition is the exorcist that cleanses your ghosts of frustration. Intuition is the exorcist that cleanses your ghosts of frustration. Karma's pimp.
It's good. I like that.
And last but not least, I am pull one of these for me and one for Rachel.
Okay. You first.
All right.
Robert Redford's place, huh? Is that where the Sundance Film Festival takes place?
Sundance is a decent name for a pet.
Yeah, it is.
Or a dance. Three of Cups.
Ooh,
Play. Friends. Celebrate.
That's
This is
you
for
do
me.
it right now.
Yeah, really. We're playing with our friends. And celebrating the blooming of new love in the arid deserts of Arizona.
Yeah.
That's where Acacia and Reuben have their new love blooming. They go out to the arid deserts of Arizona. Okay. Well, Arizona's kind of near Park City, Utah. Okay. For me, I got strength, energy, rejection, and trust. I guess trust your rejection of speed as your energy, your natural energy is your strength.
Oh. It's a good pull.
Kind of how I'm feeling right now. Like I got a lot of energy right now. And earlier today, I already live streamed for several hours. So it's like I'm on speed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it.
You do one for me?
Of course, I forgot you. What a good husband I am.
Don't forget me in life.
I would never, ever forget you, Rachel.
Hmm.
In a larger sense. I might forget about your terror pole.
That's fine.
You are on a journey to the unknown.
Oh no! I'm moving away from something emotionally. Maybe,
Done.
You know what it is?
It says right there, D-O-N-E, done. I am done.
You know what it is?
What?
I am done with that tarot reader that gave me all that negativity.
Boom. On the nose. Now let's see your sentence. You live in Mid Wilshire and you don't know where that is?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny, Lunex. I like Maria Bamford. She's funny.
Well, Wilshire's a district, yeah. It's a district in LA. But only certain parts of LA has districts. Like LA City has districts, but not the greater metropolitan area. All right. Sweetness, happiness, flow, and isolation.
Interesting.
In our isolation, you find that steady flow of happiness and sweetness.
That is true. That's very true.
Because our isolation is just illusory. We do this and we become unisolated every time we do it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're probably less isolated than just about anybody in the world, you know, except for genuinely famous celebrities.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're even alone.
Right.
They'll have people coming in and out.
Well, you know, sometimes if you're a too famous celebrity, you can't really go out in the world and just be a regular person.
Yeah.
Without getting approached by a lot of people.
Have you seen Isolation makes me think of like Britney Spears, and there's this recent post I think she put up of her dancing with knives. I can't help but laugh. Someone made a meme about it, and it was pretty funny.
Why is she dancing with knives?
I don't know. Honestly, it reeks of mania.
Well, it seems even less advised than running with scissors.
It is very. It's much less advised.
Well, let's grind a little bit more weed because we are running low on the weed supply. I would do that right now.
I'm gonna head to bread and.
Sure, that sounds great. I will be not super long behind you probably.
Okay.
I may take a gabapentin.
Sure, take a tag. Yeah.
I'll probably do that right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
I'm
leave.
gonna take my medicine now too.
I'm gonna leave everybody here plugged in for a second while I go run and grab a gabapentin. And maybe actually before I do that, I'll grab somebody in for phone.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
I'll see you.
I'll be in the chat.
Yeah, I'll see you in there in not super long time. Now this morning, I told my first bedtime story in a long time. And it turned out to just be the hero's journey. But those sort of things that I typically have associated in the past as things that I can only really do when I'm on speed. Oh, the Wilshire District is a place of the name of a pizza place? Well, the Wilshire District is a district in Los Angeles. I don't know if it's a district that's known for its pizza or anything. Not that I've ever heard of, but if somebody wanted to name their pizza place the Wilshire District, well, they probably wanted their pizza place to sound kind of fancy. Because the Wilshire District can be kind of fancy. It used to be more so, you know. Now, of course, all of LA is somewhat subject to problems associated with homelessness and stuff, you know. Oh, the pizza place is Apollina in Wilshire. Apparently, it's the best in LA. I've never even heard of it. The best pizza in LA is Casabianca. They also have the best lasagna in LA. It's the best Italian food in LA. Casabianca and Eagle Rock. Everything else is just a pretender. Acacia is lucky enough to live near Casabianca. Oh. Well, has that guy gone to Casabianca? If not, I think Well, at least he's limiting himself to pizza. The one thing I'll say definitively about Casabianca it has the best lasagna in LA. Okay, in all of LA County, maybe even the entire world. It has the best lasagna. Next time we go to LA, I want to go eat lasagna there. Best raviolis too, says Rachel. Rachel's a bit of a ravioli connoisseur. You know, she when she gets Italian food, she gets ravioli. When I get Italian food, I tend to get lasagna. But Rachel's a ravioli connoisseur in the same way that I am a connoisseur of chili rellenos. I think Rachel's also a bit of an enchilada connoisseur. I share with her a fondness for enchiladas, but I think I'm less loyal to enchiladas and also less loyal to chili rellenos than she is loyal to enchiladas. So, but what I was remarking on the other day at the Mexican restaurant, I will share with you now because I think I made a really important insight here. I want to share with you. Chili relleno can be a meat inside a burrito. Do I use Canadian currency or something else? I use American dollars, but if you're like gonna super chat or whatever, it'll have you super chat in your natural currency, and then I guess it converts it or something. I don't know. It's not any issue for me. Whatever. Sometimes I got pound sterlings in the past, which I thought was kind of cool. Where it just comes out as dollars to me. But most meals can be improved greatly by stuffing them with ricotta. But think about this. Chili relleno can be a meat inside a burrito. But a chili relleno is already itself a wrapping with something inside of it. So, like, what? You couldn't. It's like saying, I want a burrito with the meat inside of it to be enchiladas. Except that would just be wrapping another tortilla around an enchilada. And that wouldn't make any sense. Or if you're trying to PayPal me for a typing session, PayPal does the conversions. You don't gotta worry about that. Secretly, I'm hoping it's neither. All right, Eric, it's time to change the water in this bong. Are humans skincheladas? You could say so, yeah. But what I'm thinking is, I want an enchilada with a burrito inside of it that also has chili relleno as the meat inside of that burrito. That's the turducken of Mexican food. I think we can agree about that, right? That would be the ultimate turducken of Mexican food. An enchilada is filled not with cheese or any meat, but it's filled with a burrito. And the meat inside the burrito is chili relleno. That's the ultimate Mexican food turducken. Yes, I hear you meowing. I hear you meowing, but you can't come in. Well, Kitty, I am cleaning the barn right now. There's not time for me to pay attention to the cat, okay? The one thing that we have to go to Oakhurst for, there's no getting around it, is bongs. The Mariposa Bong Store, but there are two of them. It's like, I don't know if you thought this too, Rachel, but when we went from the first smoke shop in Mariposa to the second smoke shop, I thought it was the same guy. Like, did that guy just leave the other smoke shop? And like, because it's like there's one smoke shop on one side of this block of buildings and another smoke shop on the other side. The two guys who operated look the same. I think they might be brothers or something. And the problem is, both smoke shops are equally have the same horrible selection of bongs. They've got a lot of bongs that look like penises, which I don't really want to smoke out of that bong. You know, I'm not sure what they're. I don't think they're feuding brothers because. You mean when you say undercover people? Do you mean Rachel has her own cute terms for things? When she says undercover people, she means NPCs, non-player characters. I think they probably are NPCs, yeah. Or as I will call them from now on, undercover people. So if you were wondering what Rachel meant by that, what are undercover people? She means NPCs. My intuition's pretty good. I can figure out what Rachel's referring to. Yeah, but I think they must be NPCs. And it seems to be smoke shops seem to be a place where NPCs congregate. Because I'm a little suspicious about the guy in the smoke shop in Oakhurst as well. I think he might be an NPC. The guy in the smoke shop in Arcadia was an NPC. Maybe even that super cool ESFP dude. I'm not sure about him. The ones around you are fronts. I don't think these smoke shops are fronts for anything. Well, Ruben, presumably, if you could be 100% certain that somebody was an NPC, then you could do it moral guilt free, but you wouldn't still be able to do it without legal culpability. She was so easy, I'm in the bleachers. Right. And the other thing I would say is if you're both so convinced that somebody is an NPC that you feel as though it would be okay to murder them and have a desire to murder them, then you should not in any way, shape, or form trust your conclusions about whether or not they're an NPC. So keep those important caveats in mind, Ruben, in case this is your lifelong dream. Well, maybe if you're good enough at Grand Theft Auto, Karma's Pimp, do you think if you're good enough at Grand Theft Auto, then you probably can't get away with much of anything? But yeah, like if you're playing like NPC streaming, the most NPC person I have ever encountered was the guy at the smoke shop in Arcadia. He couldn't have been more like thinly written and two dimensional as a character. The question was, Karma's Pimp, what if you're really good at playing Grand Theft Auto? Then can you get away with it in a video game? I think you were right to guess yes. Yeah, he was the most NPC guy I've ever encountered. Like, thank you for pointing that out, Thomas Pump. I apologize for the unnecessary redundancy, which is itself unnecessarily redundant. But that guy, he was like, he had to be scripted, as well as that weird Asian guy that we saw outside that store one time. The whole thing seemed so unbelievably scripted. Like, okay, those people cannot be real. But the guy who worked inside the store, he like one time I went in there and he was like, oh, just getting off the phone with immigration office, something like that, something like that. And I was like, okay. Just like this really thinly written, two-dimensional, um, sort of Balky Bartakamus character of of a colorful immigrant working at a smoke shop. The weird things that happened before we moved up here. Yeah, weird things happened when we moved up here too, but different kind of weird things. Like, I don't encounter a lot of NPCs up here that seem so obviously NPC. Although I would say, Rachel, also that any polar girl at the pizza place, she seems kind of like an NPC. I mean, The anypolar was so one word answer to, well, here's the point, Ruben. That girl at the pizza place is a white girl. The two brothers at the matching brothers at the matching smoke shops that are like identical, have identical um like inventory. Those two guys are like Pakistani or something, Indian maybe. I don't know. The girl at the pizza place was just as ridiculous and two dimensional a character in her incredibly like FE fourth one word answers to things. Yes. No. You know, and she was visually striking in her appearance too. Like her eyes were really crazy, like really striking blue eyes, and then she had like a punky haircut. Like that guy at the store in Arcadia was striking looking as well. He wore like colorful, kind of goofy looking clothes, and it was just really two dimensional. The guys at the smoke shops, it's like when I said the first smoke shop, I'm not really pleased with. I don't really like any of these bongs. All right, let's go look at the other smoke shop. And he just said, he just looked so placid and like, thanks for coming in or whatever. And then I run to the smoke shop up on the top. I was like, wait a second. Is this the same place? It's a bigger storefront, but it got the exact same stuff. We ended up getting this, which I knew was not what we wanted exactly. Rachel seems to like it because of its different bowl design, but it's shitty regardless because you can barely put water in it without it giving you a kiss. You have to have just barely the right amount of water for it to work right, where it goes through the water but doesn't kiss you. I would just say that there is an overrepresentation of people who work at smoke shops in the NPC population. But that's probably because smoke shops are such like NPC storefronts to begin with, you know? They just got a bunch of weird shit in it, like whipped cream, whipped cream chargers. Do the NPCs have different personality types? No, I mean that's what makes them NPCs. Is they're too. They might be sort of representing a personality type, like that lady in the pizza place was sort of representing ISTP, but they hadn't bothered to fill it in enough so that instead of being a believable level of any polar, it was like an unbelievable level of any polar. Rachel tried to engage her on a couple of occasions, like, "Hey, I really like your pendant or whatever." And she'd just be like, "Yes." What? That's not even a response to that. Yeah, like a super flat two dimensional version of the thing. That's the only Sims anybody ever thinks about. But like the uh, the the guy at the Arcadia smoke shop, I don't even know what type he might be. I guess like a super goofy ESFJ or something. He was so like, oh, it's you, hello. I'm on the phone with immigration. It was just, I don't even know what type that would be. Right? That's an example of one of the types that one of the NPCs were. I don't know. I can't even imagine what type they would be. To be such a caricature of a human being. It just made me. It's like when you encounter people like that, it just makes you think. Okay, somebody's scripting stuff. There's some bullshit to reality. It kind of unavoidably makes you think that, but probably just intuition leaping to conclusions. And then people are very simple, sort of intellectually. It doesn't mean they're simple in other ways that I don't really recognize or whatever, but I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to believe certain characters. You know, like that lady at the sandwich shop who went on and on about Christmas songs and driving in from wherever and how much she loves Christmas songs. It's like, okay, you wrote this character with one character trait. I like Christmas songs. It's just kind of hard to believe that there's such a person who just expresses just this one character trait so just excessively. What day is it? It's Tuesday. It's only 10:15. It's not that late. I'm not being loud or anything, but like I said, you never know how voices carry here in the mountains. I mean, you do know that they carry more than you'd expect them to. That's one way to put it. If you're into putting things ways, is this combination of sticks and leaves over there. It looks like a cartoon character lying on the ground like this. And one is legs up. You won't be able to see it from here. It's too dark. Well, maybe I zoomed in on. It's too hard. I give up. It's too hard to me show it to you. It probably doesn't look the same from down there anyway. Yeah, it looks much too side on. I should look at it from up here more. That's probably my problem. Oh, if you think that's your only problem, then that's your major problem right there. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for shitting on me. Let's see if we can see any stars. No. So it was not just the lights that made it. I couldn't see any stars. It must be cloudy out. Like, you know, the older foreign tourists, probably Germans, at the table near us at dinner tonight. You didn't really, Winston's mom. I was just joking. I was just joking. um, I was trying to talk quietly outside because I don't want to be loud. Too late at night. Nobody shot on me. I was just shitting on myself and attributing it to you. So yeah, so it appears to be cloudy out right now. It says mostly cloudy on the Microsoft weather thing. Okay, Trouble. Trouble's like, it's time for bread already. Yeah, humor. You know, I like that humor stuff sometimes. Those NPCs aren't even assigned to type. You just have a tag like FE. Yeah. I heard it was Social Security he was on the phone with. I don't remember. Something like that. And I don't know what I said under my breath. It's probably like, those sticks and leaf look like a guy lying down over there. It's probably what you're referring to. Did I leave a beverage outside again? Or I could finish Rachel's beer. It's always a good idea. Check Rachel's drink. There's a lot of... I avoid going to the fridge a lot of times by just checking Rachel's drink, which is lots of times half finished. Or going to recover my drink from outside, which I probably left it outside, you know. Rachel has the blessed ability to just forget about drinks. I just lose them, can't find them, but don't forget about them. And go, God, I know I left that drink somewhere. And maybe I'll find it a couple days later on the shelf above the dryer. Oh, that's where I left that beer that I was wondering where I left for the last day and a half. Well, time to throw it out now. It's too old. And then I pour it into the laundry room sink and throw it away in the garage trash can. You know what I think is a room that could use a trash can? Speaking of trash cans and laundry rooms. If you guessed laundry room, you guessed correctly. The laundry room could really use a trash can, I think. Rachel's the sort of person that she'll do the laundry for years, potentially, multiple times thinking, I need to throw this away, and there's no trash can in here, but never saying, you know what, I think we should put a trash can in here. So sometimes I have to do that kind of late realization for her. Because I'm less late realizing it than she is. So it probably shouldn't have taken me 10 months for it to occur to me that we could use a trash can in the laundry room. But better late than never. That's what they say. Better late than never. And I think, Rachel, that we may no longer need to, that was very considerate of you, Ruben. And it's a good thing Winston's mom said so, or you wouldn't have thanked her, in which case I wouldn't have noticed your previous comment. So that's pretty good. It all worked out for the best for all of us. Trouble is just waiting for me to go to bed. He's like, come on now, let's go to bed. What are you doing? You've been up for too long already. Well, Trouble, I'm I'm getting pretty close. I am going to take a gabapentin now, plus a couple of, what do you call them? Benadryls. That's what you call them. You're going to take a gabapentin plus a couple of Benadryls, plus a couple of Tylenols, or what's sometimes known as Eric's bedtime cocktail. I take the pills. I don't take the drinking kind. You know, those drinking kinds of syrupy things. A lot of times they have alcohol in them, so you got to be careful of that if you're not a drinker. If you're an explicitly abstaining from alcohol person like me. Like Rachel doesn't ever drink, and she seems to happy that with that. You know, like she seems to be pleased that she's not uh, she's not a drinker, but she's not explicitly abstaining from it in the way that I am really, or she doesn't need to anyway. Um, and the thing is, to explicitly abstain from drinking it is different than to not consume any alcohol at all in your diet. Because what Ruben is saying, what Ruben is saying is much funnier than what I read the first time. It is literally true that every drink has a certain amount of alcohol in it, even if that amount is 0.0%. But there are a lot of drinks that have a little bit of alcohol in them. Um, that like juices and stuff. You know, when you cook off the alcohol, there's still maybe a little bit left in it. You know. Yeah, I'm curious about this catnip tea as well. Anyway, let me go get my bread time cocktail, and I'll be back to consume it with this half full warm Coors Edge, which is everybody's dream beer. Rachel asked me if trouble had followed me into the bedroom, but I said, no, because he can tell that I'm not going to bed yet because I didn't turn off the lights, turn on TV, and the other things I do before I go to bed. So he just is waiting right there in the kitchen, periodically meowing me, but even when he's not meowing me, there you heard one. The mournful meow, right? Um, he's still guilting me. He's guilting me with his presence. So, okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I've taken a cocktail. I may watch a cartoon before I get all the way into bed. I've got a couple of non-ideal but actionable cartoons to watch at the moment. How about you wake up, Trouble? No, Trouble wants me to go to bed. And he's right. I should go to bed. So, good night, everybody. I'll see you all later. I love you all. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.